Coming to you live from Studio 6 in Seattle, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side. With leading edge topics, along with special co-hosts to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that's going to make you go, Now sit back, raise a glass, and welcome to TechTime Radio with your host, Nathan Mumm. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go,
What's happening?
Technology news of the week for October 24th through the 30th, 2020, episode 19. Mike?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. This is going to be an interesting new gig because we can't
screw around.
We can't screw around in between segments. So we are excited to be here. We are live at KKNW, 11:50 a.m., and we're streaming on YouTube and Facebook. So we should have lots of people hopefully watching us, and if not, then that's all right. We'll just watch it ourselves and continuously watch it. So, all right, we have a weekly hour-long technology show. For those of you that have not heard of us, since this is our first show on KKNW, we talk about technology for the common person. We spend an hour going through technology items that are pressing in the news, and we make it so that you don't have to be a tech or geek out, but you can listen to this and kind of be informed going into your week and talking with technology. We have two core segments. We call it Protect Yourself Today, which is all about cyber crimes.
That's the drinking segment.
Well, we don't call it the drinking segment, but that's a segment where we have lots of different sad news that we talk about how breaches happen. We also have our first 5 minutes where we talk about the top stories in the news and give our commentators on that. And we, of course, have Mike Gourdet, our co-host, and he keeps me on track and provides expertise in the psychology of how people think, right?
Yes.
And you are a podcaster of what drives you. So I'm just excited to have a podcaster on my show.
That's good since I've been around.
Okay, that's right. All right. We also have Nathan's Nugget, a personal reflection on a subject that I like on today's deal. We have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, which is the psychology aspect of what we're talking about. And, of course, we always have lots of cool prizes and giveaways. So we are excited because we have a Pulse device that we're going to be giving away at the end of November. I know that you have one sitting over there on your
I do.
You want to show everybody what that is, minus your mask there?
It's a box.
It's a box. So it is an EKG machine, Mike.
It's an EKG machine.
So we're going to talk about that. That's one of our sponsors, and so you charge it, and it gives you the same readouts as a standard EKG machine. So if you go to our website, techtimeradio.com, and you sign up for our fans list, you have a chance to win that $299 item. Well, as we always start out each show, I never ask how your weekend was or how it was, but I ask you a loaded question of the day. So here's your loaded question of the day. That's a good one. What causes you a great deal of pain?
Arthritis.
Arthritis? Well, okay, I'm sure that causes lots of people of pain.
Yeah.
What causes you great? Is it really arthritis that was causing you pain?
Yeah, my knees hurt all the time.
Do they?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about any of the other pains that I suffer as a human being.
So we'll just skip over that. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, let's just move on.
Okay, so arthritis is so. I think my biggest pain is dental work. I hate dental work. I don't so understand why people do dental work, and I just wish my teeth.
Well, if your teeth, I mean.
If you brush your teeth. Well,
yeah, you should brush your teeth.
That would help, wouldn't it? No, I just hate why you have to go on in and you get a crown and then they numb your roots and they do all. It just should all be numb to begin with, I just think. So that's my great pain.
That's why you drink before you go.
That's why you drink before you go?
Yeah.
So you drink all the time, that is what you're saying? So was this alcoholic?
I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
All right.
Especially if you keep asking questions about like that.
Okay, all right. Well,
maybe I should have said you.
Well, you should have said me.
Yeah.
I caused you pain. That is probably true. That's all right. All right, so let's get our episode started with our top stories in 5 minutes segment right out of the box. This is where we talk about the stories that will shape your week and change your future. What's happening in technology? Nathan's top stories in the first 5 minutes. All right, welcome to Top Stories in 5 minutes. Let's start the timer and get going. Story number 1. You ready, Mike?
Hit me.
Watch early testers try Tesla's full self-driving mode for the first time. So there are videos on YouTube for this. Tesla has enabled yesterday. They had a long-awaited feature that Elon Musk rolled out, which is for This is the full self-driving mode for Tesla owners.
Mm-hmm.
Only a small group of Tesla chosen drivers with safe driving records were given the software update to test the new autonomous feature known as FSD, which goes beyond what's currently available on Tesla's advanced driving system, Autopilot. FSD now lets you use Electric Mode X navigate itself through the cities of previous roads. The previous Autopilot, which featured the ability to auto-steer and braking and lane changes, only worked on the highways and major thoroughfares with clear lanes marked. But with this new beta, you can now maintain the speed limits and its position in the lane. The stops at stop signs, makes turns, and even accelerates to move past cars passing them under the speed limit.
Those poor guys are going to have that clean driving record is going to get dirty.
Their clean driving records. So there's tons of videos on there. There's alerts that come on up when you're driving. So I don't have a Tesla to have test this out myself, but I did look at all the videos that were on, and it was amazing. So it literally went through like 3 green lights. It saw a yellow light during the test, and it actually sped up.
Speed up?
It sped up, so it was like a normal driving deal. It didn't slow down and stop and come to a caution. So it drove like a normal person would drive. And then it showed a smaller car that was going a little under the speed limit, and it moved over, went to the left lane, passed the car, and then moved back over the right lane, which I thought was really cool because instead of staying in the left-hand lane, it knows in its software process that you should be in the right lane except to pass. So just think if we had everybody
if that was going on here in Washington.
Yeah, just think we could have all of our traffic
passing lane.
We could have all of our traffic issues fixed because you always get that slow person in the far left-hand lane, and they're always going under the speed limit, and then you're stuck with the middle person, and it's horrible.
Yeah, but that's what's exciting about this kind of stuff is that it could literally, if we could get everybody to participate, it could fix the traffic flow.
It could, and so it gave alerts. It was really cool. The screen comes on up, gives alerts. Pay attention. It wants you to grab the steering wheel, so it kind of like vibrated the steering wheel when it wanted you to grab it and hold it. So
that I think is probably the problem with this is because this can't be fully automated, so the driver's still sitting in the seat, and that creates a problem where attention wanders.
Attention wanders?
Yeah.
Speaking about attention wanders, my oldest son got in another car wreck 3 days ago. That guy is like horrible. I don't know what he's doing.
Did you hook him up with Elon?
No, I need to buy him a Tesla just so he can pay attention. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably
you need to buy him a Tesla just to keep him from running into stuff.
So with the beta update, the car maintains the limit speed. It moves left and right, understands stop signs, makes full turns, and even more. It's called the full self-driving. Alerts come up on the screen for items such as turning onto an unmarked road or business, and as soon as you hit to your destination to drive off-road, it lets you take full control back. All right, story number 2. Here's your favorite company, Facebook.
Oh, right.
Let's talk about
Facebook.
So we get listeners that actually send me Facebook. I forwarded you some of them.
I know.
Facebook
I don't
articles.
hate Facebook. Well,
yes, you do. yes, you pretend like I don't hate Facebook. No, I actually really do. But Facebook's new oversight board is a wild new experiment in platform governance. So just like the U.S. Supreme Court, with 4 times as many justices and serving more than 10 times as many citizens, Mark Zuckerberg floated an idea 2.5 years ago on a podcast that he would come up and create an independent oversight board, which would be up and running for Facebook to determine if articles should be posted or not posted, or ads ran or not ran.
Okay, so
a private company
is hiring.
Listen to who they're hiring. So the oversight board is made up of lawyers. It's made up of previous congressional individuals and even a Nobel Peace Prize recipient.
Okay, and what are these guys going to be doing?
So before we do that, let's take a step back and let's talk about the social network and how horrible it's been, right? Because this is always just talked about how they do a horrible job of policing what needs to be done. Currently, for articles to be banned, do you know who makes the decision on that? Well, not currently because it changed. Oh, there's our buzzer.
Oh, there's a buzzer.
That's a buzzer, but we'll finish this. So currently, Mr. Zuckerberg makes the decision of if you're going to post an ad or not post an ad, which kind of makes sense. It's his company and he created it, right?
Sure.
But with this new process now, essentially they're going to have the power to give all of these articles and concerns up to this board. So here's what's been happening. Facebook is placed $130 million into this trust fund to help financially support the board's operations. $130 million.
Is this corporate blame shifting going on?
I think it is. So now the board essentially will be submitted through software articles in areas where that they can then debate with their peers, and the board will be, it's got 6 to 8 people right now, and it will be up to 40 members.
40 people making decisions. That's horrible.
So the key aspect is that you're able to submit questions and have the board take a look at it. And once they make a decision and a precedent, then they can change policies within Facebook itself.
So when Facebook bans one of my offensive cat videos,
yes,
I can appeal that.
You could appeal that.
And it's going to go in front of 40 people who were paid $130 million to tell me that it's okay to post this video.
Well, I think the $130 million is to be used by this whole board. So I'm sure that they aren't. I hope they're not making $130 million a year in salary. So I'm sure the oversight board has a stipend to do what needs to be taken care of.
And this is so Mark won't get hauled in front of Congress anymore, huh?
That is exactly what it's for. So this was done as a oversight board to help make sure that the justice system of social media is taken care of. That's it. Okay. So I'm optimistic. I think the board will represent an unprecedented move to develop a tech giant's ability to kind of represent the people. We'll see how well that does. But that is what Facebook is doing. Our time is up.
Great.
So we didn't get to story 3 or 4. We're on the air.
That's okay.
So we just talked about those two. So wouldn't you like to be on the board though? I would just deny everything.
I don't know that I I feel like I have more important things to do.
You do?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, I get it. So we've got through 2 stories today. Again, as the bell has rung, you can always go to techtimeradio.com and view our facts. We have a little facts page, so you can make sure that these articles that we're talking about are true and we're not making up fake news, as that does happen at any time that you would like to. Up next, we have our weekly segment, Protect Yourself Today, that gives you an update on all cybercrimes, breaches, and ransomware payouts. We also announce our whiskey selection of the day. We've already had a little bit of whiskey to start off our show, so we'll be talking about that.
Sounds like you needed it.
I did. So sit back, relax, enjoy a little whiskey on the side with us, and we'll return to Tech Time Radio with your host, Nathan Mumm.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data right at your fingertips and with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. The new Pulse device from Vivomi continuously tracks your EKG and displays this data on your mobile phone. Have you ever wondered how your EKG and heart rate behaves when you're exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or just getting the kids ready for school or relaxing at home? Now it is easy to check by simply opening the Pulse app. The Pulse device is sleek and low profile and designed to be worn without any straps or wires, and is also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower or take it swimming. For those serious athletes out there, the Pulse device also plays nicely with existing exercise tracking apps and is Bluetooth enabled for easy pairing. You can free yourself from those outdated strap-based heart rate monitors. The Pulse is a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivomi.com and ordering your device today.
New Advil Dual Action with acetaminophen fights pain in 2 ways. Advil targets pain at the source, while acetaminophen blocks pain signals. The future of pain relief is here. New Advil Dual Action.
Well, Mike, welcome back.
Is that our fanfare music?
That is.
I have never heard that before.
You haven't? It's always normally in our second break.
Well, I know, but when we do the podcast, we don't hear the fanfare music.
We don't. So
I feel like I'm in Hollywood.
You're not in Hollywood now. It's a little, what's this, Billy Crystal? It's the, City Slickers.
City Slickers.
There you go. All right, so I like that a lot. Okay, well, during our break, we had a chance to sample our whiskey, our pick of the day for the show. We have chosen Blue Spirits whiskey from Lake Chelan, local distillery, and it is 91 proof. It is a 7-year aged in Indiana, so they send their barrels to Indiana to be aged, and then they bring them on back. And it is $52 a bottle, so the little bottle right there is $52.
Is Indiana older than Washington?
What's that?
That's like that company we did not too long ago that sends it to Canada.
Yeah, send it to Canada. So I guess these places just must have these great distillery areas or these huge warehouse. That's right. And so it was a little sweet. I had a little sweet taste. What did you taste?
Yeah, it has a sweet aftertaste, so it's tasty.
It's tasty. It was a nice way to start out, and since we had to transport it to the studio, it was a little bit of a smaller bottle. That always helps out a little bit too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that we got our drinks out of the way, we have a packed show, and we have up next Protect Yourself Today. This is our current news on breaches, cyber attacks, and identity thefts across the globe.
Yep.
Protect Yourself Today.
Protect Yourself Today is a 5-minute rundown of the weekly technology breaches or business compromises across the globe. Let's start with story number 1. U.S. officials blame election data theft on the Russian APT group Berserk hacking team known for gaining footholds in critical infrastructure. The U.S. intelligence officials say a Russia-backed hacking group has compromised some state and local government computer systems since at least September and has stolen election-related data. So far, however, the attackers do not appear to attempt to otherwise interfere or disrupt the network. The Director of National Intelligence, John Ratcliffe, and the FBI Director, Christopher Wray, blamed Iran for sending emails to registered Democrats in at least 3 states threatening physical violence unless their votes were cast for President Donald Trump. Well, what is that about?
I don't know.
What does that do? Does that even do any good? I mean, why would you if you're sending them to Democrats and you're going to physically say that you're going to have violence if you don't cast votes for Donald Trump in an email? What's that going to? The thug's going to come on down from Russia and he's going to kneecap you on the way you.
I don't know.
Walking out your house.
I maybe.
I didn't quite get it. So
but that's just taking advantage of people's fears, right? So you're here getting this note from the Russian embassy or whatever,
the Russian hacker group,
the Russian hacker group, and they're like, "Hey, vote for Trump, or we will come and beat you up." We'll come in.
Okay. And we'll take you to the back room. The Iranian government denies being behind the campaign, though. So Reuters reported the U.S. intelligence officials are confident that they have the correct individual because they had a failing reductive IP address and part of video that showed the hacker's computer screen, which were traced back to infrastructure previously used by the group.
So they're going to try him in absentia.
So that's right. So some U.S. officials have suggested the threat posed by Russia, however, continues to dwarf the risk from Iran. The New York Times reports, citing anonymous sources, many security experts have categorized the alleged Iranian email campaign this week, which pretend to be sent by the Proud Boys, a far-right fascist group that is pro-Trump, as being the investigators. So you have this person hack.
Yep.
They say that they're coming from a right-wing crazy group, and then you tell people that if you don't vote for Trump, we're going to knock you off.
Yeah.
If anybody falls for that, then we live in a society that
people do. People are going to.
Really? How would you fall for that?
Because they're taking advantage of their fear. You know, somebody may. I'm not saying that they're going to send this message out and people are going to flock and do that, but this is something that's gone on forever. Is making people vote the way you want them to vote.
The way you want to. So my thing on the voting is just get out. If you want to complain about who you're going to vote for, make sure you vote. That's what I'll say. So just don't. I don't care who wins or who doesn't win. If you don't vote and then your person doesn't win and then you start complaining, you have no right to complain because you weren't actively a part of the voting selection.
What if you voted for Bugs Bunny? Can you complain?
I voted for Mickey Mouse on one thing. I won't tell you what's. I did vote for Mickey Mouse.
Yeah,
I wrote it in for Mickey. So I hate it when there's only like one person running, and so if there's only
yeah, I know.
So I end up voting for Mickey Mouse on every single one. The poor guy's going to win, or the poor gal's going to win. So I get that, but you should never run with nobody being opposed to you. So I always vote for a crazy.
Now they're going to know.
Well, it's now all
now,
those Mickey Mouse.
Now Russia's going to send a person to your door, or just send you an email.
I'll send me an email, and then I'll forward
from
it to
Iran.
I'll forward it to my junk mail with another 50,000 emails that I get. All right, story number 2. Unsecured voice transcripts expose health data again. So what is with this?
They can't get a break.
So this is what's awesome about this is Pfizer. So Pfizer gets compromised, right? But according to Trump on the debate, Pfizer is going to come out with a cure for COVID. So they must be so busy to be working on the cure.
Well, maybe that's why they're getting hacked, so they can get the cure before,
For a second time within a week, it's been revealed that sensitive voice messages containing patients' information has been exposed on the internet. This time, security researchers say they discovered more than 200 unsecured voice transcripts of patients' calls to drug giant Pfizer automated customer support system exposed for at least 2 months on the internet due to a misconfigured Google Cloud storage bucket. So this is the thing with people in the cloud. They think that they pay for money from Microsoft and Google, and they get this cloud storage area, and then it must all be secure. And all that Microsoft and Google are giving you is storage. There's our bell. We'll finish.
There's my wake-up alarm.
That's right. There's a bell. But all they do is they're just giving you storage on the World Wide Web to host information. They do not secure your data. It just kills me. People say it all the time. I didn't know that.
That's why we have so many problems with technology, because there's too much information that we don't know.
It's too much assumption. So
all the stuff going on that we don't know, that you're telling them and driving people to drink.
That's right. Driving them to drink through this. Listen what happened to the transcripts. In a report issued this week, security researchers at VPN Mentor, at least these people, this is like 3 people at this company too. So these companies, when they get this information, they love it. They put their name all over. Wrote that they discovered the exposed voice transcripts records in early July and contacted Pfizer about the problem 3 times. They contacted them 3 times. Not once, but twice, but 3 times. To the pharmaceutical company, finally responded on September 22nd and fixed the issue on September 23rd. Containing exposed records were personal information, identifiable customer names, home addresses, emails, partial details of health and medical status. The exposed files were stored on a misconfigured Google Cloud that were available for purchase on the dark web. So if you got $15-20, let me know. I can put up my Tor browser on VPN, and we can take a look and get all of these issues. But here's Pfizer's response in a statement provided.
I love the response. I'm always on the side of the corporate response.
This corporate
right?
Pfizer is aware that a number of non-HIPAA data records on a vendor-operated system used for feedback on existing machines were evidently publicly available. We have taken privacy and feedback extremely seriously. So they didn't take it the first time.
They didn't,
or the second time. But on the third time, they now take it extremely seriously. To the end where they become aware of the event, we ensure the vendor corrected the issue and notified compliance with the acceptable law. So what do? They spent all their time with their press release saying that non-HIPAA data was taken care of because they don't want to pay the penalties.
Right.
So instead of fixing stuff, it's just like, there was no HIPAA stuff there.
Corporate blame shift.
Yes, it's just blame it. All right, well, that goes through our segment of that you call the drinking segment, but you know what?
Yes.
We got through 2 stories. Normally we get through 3 stories. You know what? This live stuff, we're you think so?
Yeah, I'm looking at the clock.
Well, that's all right. I got about 17 pages for the next 2.
I know. You gave me a 27-page script.
I did. We were nearly like 10 pages. But
yeah.
I know. I just wanted to be really prepared today.
Yeah, you were prepared.
And I haven't even
given you...
My
ink ran out.
I did it in your printer?
In my printer.
We'll have to expense that. So essentially, coming on up, we have a great story about, in our Technology Insider, about a streaming service that has been shut down. And so all the news has information about it being shut down, but we're going to dive deeper. Okay. And we're going to take a look at the leadership because, you know what, I could have said...
You've met him.
I have met the leaders in this area, and there's some things that we're going to talk about that will be fantastic. And
We're going to have to take back the Lays Award.
That's right. You know what? We're going to lose some shows on the Lace Awards. I don't know what to do with that. And we're really excited because next week we have our Haunted Halloween special. Yeah. So next week, this segment is essentially the whole show. So if you want to be scared about technology stuff, we are going to dig deep.
That's the time to do it.
It's going to be the Halloween show.
Make sure you trick or treat.
And we're going to be talking about all the breaches. I got so much up there that people are going to be, oh my gosh, scared to walk out and have their phones on 5G, and it's going to just blow up. And so it should be really exciting. But right now we need to go talk to our poor sponsors. So we're going to take a break. I'm Nathan Mumm. We got Micro Day here, and this is TechTime Radio. Thank you. What happens when you combine two of the best things together? No, we're not talking about ice cream and chocolate, but we're talking about technology and a little whiskey on the side. That's right. I'm Nathan Mumm, and I'm the host of TechTime Radio. And we are moving to KKNW starting on October 24th. From Saturdays from 4 to 5 p.m., you can listen to our show live. And then you can catch the rebroadcast Thursday mornings from 6 to 7 a.m. The technology show for your commute, exercise, or just drinking fun. Listen to the best 60 minutes of technology news and information. The hosts cover top tech stories with a funny spin.
Is it good? Yes. Is it bad? Yes.
That's we're becoming experts, though. Grab your weekly technology without having to geek out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Only on TechTime Radio on 1150 a.m. KKNW.
That's good. So, Hooked on Phonics worked for you, didn't it?
It did, just a little bit. We talk technology for the everyday common person.
Hello, Seattle. How would you like to have immediate and easy access to your live EKG and heart rate data? Your data, right at your fingertips, brought to you by Vivomi's new Pulse wearable. And with no need to hook up wires and leads or be strapped to a machine at the doctor's office. Whether you are exercising at the gym, navigating the stressful demands of the workday, or relaxing at home, check your EKG as simply as opening an app. The Pulse, a different kind of wearable, and you can experience this difference by going to www.vivomi.com and ordering your device today.
We are running our COVID-19 technology response on Teams.
Teams has given us the possibility to continue to innovate.
I can bring them in. I can actually share my screen and show the x-rays.
We're living on Teams. It's as simple as that.
Welcome back to TechTime Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. Mike, during the break, what did you think about our whiskey?
I thought it was still tasting a little
Still
sweet.
tasting pretty good. I'm putting that up there. Hopefully everybody can take a look at our Blue Spirits Lake Chelan rye whiskey through our little plexiglass area there. So, yeah, you know what? It had a little bit of a grassy taste I was picking up on. So, not that it makes any difference, but that
really
that made me sound really sophisticated, didn't it?
No.
Okay, grassy taste. Okay, all right. Well, so let's talk about our technology insider as we go to that segment.
Let's go to that segment.
Welcome to Technology Insider. Get the inside information directly from the source. All right, here's a scary story. This is a story like Dracula sucking blood from some victim for Halloween that we were just talking about. Let's talk about how you can burn through money in 6 months in the Tinseltown Company of Hollywood.
Just call your company Quibi.
Just call your company Quibi. So Quibi has shut down after 6 months. All right, so it's only been out for 6 months. As we go through this article and information that we're going to talk about, I'm very passionate about it because I like watching the Quibi shows. But I'm going to say the Quibi shows, they are segmented into 10 and 15 minutes little segments. Mm-hmm. And really what it is it's a 2-hour show, and they just end up cutting it.
Pause button.
And they cut it. And then what happens is that when you come back to episode 2, you got another minute of intro previously on episode 1. So literally, I added up. I was watching The Fugitive, which I really liked on there, and it had Kiefer Sutherland in it. So it's some good. I watched Die Hard, which I really liked.
See, that's the only thing that I knew it was on it.
And they got Chrissy Harris's or Chrissy whatever. She's got a little judge show, and they got a bunch of stuff.
I know people's attention spans are really getting close to that of a gnat's, but I think they've overestimated that.
So I think they have too. So Quibi Holdings LLC is shutting down after a mere 6 months of launching a streaming service. a crash landing for once the highly touted startup with attracted some of the biggest names in Hollywood and looked to revolutionize how people consume entertainment. The streaming service, which was set up to do in 5 and 10-minute chapters, formatted to fit a smartphone screen, has been plagued with problems since its April debut, facing lower than expected viewership and a lawsuit from a well-capitalized foe. So their lawsuit, they stole, I don't care what anybody says, they absolutely stole the technology. So essentially, if you're watching Quibi and you move your phone in landscape mode, it's normal. And then if you raise it up into the portrait mode, what it does is it takes segments of the video, and so it doesn't just take like the middle area, but it's a whole different type of stream, so you can still watch it in a different perspective. So if you watch the Die Hard show in portrait mode, it's completely different than landscape mode. You get different scenes. So essentially, they have a secondary stream that they run over the time.
That came out when.
We'll hear about it here because somebody's suing them and they had the trademark. I think so. So, so here's what happens here. Our founder Jeffrey Katzenberg, and we're going to talk about him because I know him personally. Your buddy. I know him personally, so we got some personal stuff that we're going to talk about. But Mr. Katzenberg and Miss Whitman decided to shut down the company in an effort to return as much capital to investors as possible, instead of trying to prolong the life of the company and risk losing more money, according to people familiar with the matter. We considered and have exhausted every optional avenue for us, is what they both said in a joint statement. Employees will be laid off and paid a severance. They put that in there like 6 or 7 times. They wanted to make sure that their employees were paid severance. So that's at least nice. Yeah. And Quibi will explore selling the rights of some of its content to other media and technology companies. Earlier reports that Mr. Katzenberg told people in the media industry that he might have to shut down the company were indeed true and dated back over a month plus. So he was telling his buddies that he was probably going to have to close it down 4.5 months into this venture.
Yeah, and that was about the time we gave him the award.
That's about the time we did the Lace Awards, and then then they were so excited they went on out. They just partied all night long when they did the Lace. So if you haven't seen the Lace Awards, it's episode 10. You can go and watch it.
Yeah, it's spectacular.
No, it's not. It's pretty boring, but we had a good time doing it. But, during a video,
trying to talk up the show.
Oh, okay, it was fantastic. Please go and watch that one and continue. During a video call with employees Wednesday, October 22nd, the emotional Mr. Katzenberg suggested Quibi staffers listen to the song Get Back Up Again, sung by actress Anna Kendrick in the animated film Trolls.
That's funny.
So this guy is just not all there. And we're going to talk about it.
That's not a...
Doesn't that seem odd?
That's not a worrisome song.
So here he goes. So he's telling his employees, you know what?
Here, listen to this song.
Go to the Trolls. Why don't you go watch the movie Trolls and sing that song, and that will make you feel better because now you're all laid off. What the heck? The decision marks...
Did he tell him that before or after the song?
No, he told that after he told him they're laid off. Then he said he could go and go back. The decision marks a disappointing turn of events for Mr. Katzenberg, a former Disney CEO executive. So he was fired at Disney. He's a former Michael Eisner came on in, and when he took over Disney, he fired his butt. He got him the heck out of Disney because he was destroying Disney, which he destroys a lot of other companies, as we're going to find out. All right. He was DreamWorks co-founder who pitched the streaming service as a revolutionary new entrance to the video streaming wars. So I have met Katzenberg. Working at Vulcan Inc. I was the director of executive services. So I have met him twice.
He's going to come after you now.
So
he's going to get the Russians to send you an email.
So when I was working for Paul Allen, we met in the summer of 2009. I even looked back on my calendar notes just to make sure I had this all right. And so he's not a normal duck. If there was a duck all lined up in a row and they all started quacking, he'd be the one that would bark. He'd be like, quack, 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 ruff. So he was fired again by Michael Eisner from Disney. He had to unexpectedly shut down PDI DreamWorks Studios in January of 2015. He is a visionary for people that want to be in the movies, as late Paul Allen said in his book, The Idea Man. So Paul Allen wrote a book when I was there, and so he talks about Katzenberg in there also.
Yeah, you still have a bunch of copies of that.
I do have a bunch of it. So here's what Paul Allen said. He says that he is the visionary for people that want to be in the movies. Give us your money, and he will introduce you to some interesting people, quote unquote, from Paul. But we really don't want your input. Paul continues saying he would tell everyone everything was good and tomorrow will be even better. This is the standard process for Mr. Katzenberg and worked yet again for Quibi investors. So this guy has no clue, but what he does is he takes money from all investors and he says, you know what? Well, I'll introduce you to Brad Pitt, or I'll introduce you to Steven Spielberg, or I'll introduce you to this person. And what happens is these nerdy people that have a lot of money just think that that is awesome. So they go and they meet these people, and they end up, that's the only time they do, and he doesn't listen to anything else they said.
Bernie Madoff.
It's very much. So Quibi was designed for people to consume entertainment in short increments. Now, this happened in the 90s. Ron Howard tried to do this with Imagine Entertainment company called Pop.com. And Ron Howard's final conclusion was, nobody wants to watch something for 10 minutes. They want to have that 47-minute time frame of an hour show has been considered, because that's how long normally a show is with commercials, to be the standard of broadcasting. So, and HBO continues to be successful with Game of Thrones, Westworld, and other shows that are much longer than the 47 minutes because people want to be consumed with the content. They'll rather watch an extended version of The Lord of the Rings. It comes out in the theaters. Absolutely. It's 3 hours. Then you get the extended edition, which is almost 4 hours. And they sell off like hotcakes because people want the additional content, more of the story. They want it closer to the book or closer to what needs to be done. Well, Jeffrey Katzenberg and former eBay CEO Megan Whitten decided that the reason that this failed was because of the coronavirus.
Yeah, that's the
coronavirus.
I'm sure that's the reason why things fail.
So because people were not on the go, and they weren't at Starbucks, and they weren't in a bus going to work, Quibi did not get its subscribers because nobody wanted that short time in minutes. Even though people can download podcasts like TechTime Radio.
Even though I sit at home and I look at YouTube videos on my phone.
Well, so the other thing that takes care of this is when you look at the funding is they had $1.7 billion in investment. $1.7 billion. And they include, again, Kevin Hart, Steven Spielberg, heavy marketed, but their actual shows themselves didn't come out with seasons 2, didn't come out with any extended seasons. It was just kind of a one-and-done deal.
Well, yeah, if you have a 2-hour movie that you're splitting up into 10-minute segments, you have 2 seasons right there.
Well, that's what they were doing. So I'm going to be very upset because Die Hard I liked. I loved seeing Kevin Hart and John Travolta. But what happens is in these shows is this was a mixed-up show because Kevin Hart was trying to be this action hero. And what it ended up doing is it was a deal where they were actually filming him during the time of this tryout. So it was like a reality show TV. So it was kind of some unique concepts that I don't think most of the areas would do. But really what the main problem with Quibi was, they didn't have a plus at the end of their.
Yeah, they needed a
Quibi plus,
a Microsoft Bing thing going on, or.
That's right. They needed to be Disney Plus, or they needed to be Apple Plus, or anything to that
Quibi
area.
Bing.
That's correct.
Plus.
All right. So here's what's going to happen. So large companies, including AT&T, Warner Media, Viacom, CBS, have all lost their money. They are going to be looking to take their shows back. The companies that will not have any additional items to take them back are blue chip companies, including Pepsi-Cola, Walmart, and Anheuser-Busch. So they lost their money in these advertisements.
Oh, well.
But recently, Quibi has hired a reconstruction firm of Alex Partners LP to evaluate its options before it gets into its bankruptcy. This is the same company that was used
for
Enron. So these are just great people. Again, people are just making the vests. So you're going to go to the bankruptcy court for Enron.
There you go.
They are in a legal battle with the video company Echo. And Echo is the one that created
That's the one that created
the technology.
Format.
Yeah, the streaming format, which they absolutely copied from. They had to hire developers from there because Echo had that. But what's interesting is Echo's lawyer, Neil Chatterjee, said that even though Quibi is put on notice, that they are closing their business, they still have to resolve their issues with Eco. So I think they're going to go after some of those investors' money for those copyright deals.
I hope what's his name's listening to Trolls.
So Katzenberg, you think he's listening to that song?
We get back up again.
All right. Well, Quibi has left the world, much as Katzenberg and all of his other projects, and abruptly hanging up of items and not being able to complete what he has started. And this has been our Technology Insider story, once upon a time in media services. All right. Well, we're going to have to take a quick break.
Their Lays Award.
That's right.
We took it back.
We took them back.
We're going
to give it to somebody else.
Back.
Like giving a championship to a team after they won a championship for college. We'll give it to somebody else. All right.
Back to Netflix.
So we're going to take a quick break here. And when we come on back, we still have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment and our Two Truths and a Lie segment and Nathan's Nugget. So let's take a break here, and we'll see you at TechTime Radio after these commercials.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
T-Mobile and Sprint have merged. Now that Sprint is a part of T-Mobile, we have more towers, more engineers, and more coverage than ever before. This is not just a bigger network, it's a better one. And now you can get an awesome network at an amazing price. Welcome to T-Mobile, America's largest 5G network.
All right, welcome back to TechTime Radio, the show that makes you go, technology news of the week. We are awaiting our segment of Mike's Mesmerizing Moment. Still, I'm excited about that. There's nothing better. That music just makes me feel good. But before that, we have Two Truths and a Lie. And let me just tell everybody how we're doing on this.
Okay.
Currently, Nathan at KKNW is undefeated.
Yeah, that's really not fair if you're taking it out of the whole context.
No.
It's like season play, huh?
So that's
exactly, a new season?
That's right. It's a whole new season. So right now, if I win today, I will be 1-0 and I'll be undefeated. And if you win today, then it will be only my first loss. So don't listen to any of the previous shows where Mike has just killed me on every single time I ask him this. And this is why we removed this segment. But we also have David in the studio, our great producer, David Brown. Thank you very much for everything you're doing behind the scenes. And so, you know what? If you keep on beating me, I'm going to have to start asking him.
Asking David?
That's right. Here we go.
You're in trouble, David.
All right, so this segment is Two Truths and a Lie. And now we have Two Truths and a Lie. All right, Two Truths and a Lie. Here we go. I'm going to read you 3 headings, and you have to tell me which one is a lie.
Okay.
So they're not that, it's not that tricky. It's just listening. I'm not changing an and or an of. It's pretty much taken care of. So first segment, here we go. Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter CEOs to testify before Congress in November on how they handled the election. That's headline number 1.
Okay.
Headline number 2. Uber and Lyft defeated again in court. A California appeals court ruled that, yes, the state law appeals and applies to Uber and Lyft drivers.
Okay.
Heading number 3. Senators push for investigation into CBP's use of phone location data. A group of Democratic lawmakers has called for an inspector's general investigation into U.S. Customs and the Border Protection's use of commercial available locations on tracking American citizens without a warrant.
Okay.
Because it was tough if I just said CBP, so I included additional items. So you got your Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter CEOs testified before Congress in November. Uber and Lyft defeated again in courts in California. And senators push for an investigation into the use of cell phone data location data. Which one do you think is the lie?
I'm going to go with the first one.
Facebook,
TikTok,
TikTok,
Twitter, and TikTok getting hauled in front of
okay,
Congress.
so you didn't go with Uber and Lyft, defeated again in court. So let's start there. Uber and Lyft defeated again in court is true. California Appeals Court ruled yes, that the new state laws apply to Uber and Lyft drivers, meaning that they must be classified as employees rather than independent contractors. So, okay, so you're there. So now we got a 50-50 chance.
I got a 50-50 shot.
All right. And you chose Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter CEOs, and you did not say that the senators pushed for investigation into CBP. Why did you choose the first one?
Because, well, I can't really tell you why.
You can't tell me why?
I just did.
Dang it, this thing sucks. I hate this. All right, so
Here's why.
Why is that? Because I gave more detail to the other ones?
No, because I don't think there's any problem with them getting hauled into front of Congress, but the election hasn't happened yet, so they don't have any reason to be hauled in front of Congress until the election happens.
Okay, so let me tell you, Facebook and Twitter CEOs are going to have to testify. I added in the TikTok there to change the area.
So TikTok
so you got
is
it.
one of the ones.
You got it. All right. So the story does read: Facebook and Twitter CEOs will testify before Congress in November on how they handle the election. So they have to come on back there. And now I'm 0-1. And the last thing, of course, was the senator. I'm so upset now. Senator pushes for investigation into CBP use of phone location data. A group of Democrat lawmakers, including Senators Ron Wyden, Elizabeth Warren, and Brian Schultz, have called for an investigation into the U.S. Custom Border Protection use of commercial available location data to track American citizens without a warrant. All right, Mike.
I'm just lucky, dude.
Congratulations. All right. We're going to head then
so what
into our segue.
You're undefeated now?
No, I'm 0-1. But I'm only 0-1. I'm not 0-4 or whatever because we just started at the KKNW.
Well, I think you got your brother, didn't you?
I did get my brother.
Yeah.
So I did have my brother fill in for one day, and I think I lost to Gwen and a couple other of our co-hosts that have filled in for us. So I am not very good at that segment. All right. But we are going to segue now into the best music intro into Mike's mesmerizing moments.
This is Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Oh man!
All right, you're up, baby.
Okay. My mesmerizing moment. I think it's interesting when we talked about Katzenberg about the quote, how he is this uber confident guy, and he's like always, everything's going to be great and everything's going to be. One of the interesting things about psychology is that we respond well to confidence. So if something is given to us in a very confident manner, even if it's false, it's more believable than something that is true that is given to us in a non-confident manner.
Okay. So
that's the way part of our psychology works. And I think Harvard did some studies on this. I'm not sure if it's Harvard but that's one of the reasons why people like Katzenberg and Madoff and President Trump gets a lot of support, because they come across so confident that you want to believe them. You just want to believe that,
even if it's not
if it's not true, because he's so into the message. That's why that psychology can work against you. So
all right,
pay attention.
So pay attention to that. Well, I can tell you that most of those people that talk like that pretty much turn me off. So I just kind of look at them.
Well, that's good. Your psychology is working properly.
It is, because I just look at them and say, "Oh, it's going to be fantastic. It's all roses. Everything's great."
If you give me a string of weasel words, I'm instantly on my defense.
That's as bad as power words when I go into these business meetings and one pane of glass and cutting the onion and take off all the layers. I hate when people use those power words too. I'm like, oh, in a large keynote address speaker and anything like that. I'm just like, come on, seriously.
Yeah, people trying to use metaphors and
they try to use the catchy buzzwords. All right, well, you know what? Now we're gonna have to take a quick break.
Were you mesmerized?
I was. You know what? That was very mesmerizing. Thank you, Mike. That's the best segment of the whole show.
We need to finish our shots.
That's right, we do. All right, so we're gonna need to go to some more commercial breaks here. We have some great sponsors. We'll get some shots, and when we come on back, we got, of course, Nathan's Nugget. We're gonna talk to you about the pick of the day, and if we give it a thumbs up, our whiskey, we give it a thumbs down, and then we're also gonna talk about how you can win that nice Pulse Vivomi item that's available for people to win on our website by signing up on our fan list. So let's take a commercial break, and we'll see everybody back after that.
Skip and Sharon, hosts of the Psychic Spectrum radio show, are a prominent psychic couple. Besides hosting an exciting weekly radio show, they offer fans the Psychic Showcase and a fascinating speakers bureau. And their Talking to the Other Side events are not to be missed. Join their live events and even schedule a private psychic reading. Get started at psychicspectrum.com. That's psychicspectrum.com.
Hi, this is Lisa Downs, host of Reigniting You, a new show here on KKNW that explores a variety of topics and timely issues for making mid to late career transitions. I'll be here every Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock bringing you guest interviews, career transition advice, and great stories to guide you to what's next in your career and life. Gain a renewed sense of purpose for your next phase with a positive, forward-looking approach. Get ready to be re-energized, recharged, and reignited Wednesdays at 3 o'clock.
Your business deserves the same expertise as that of a Fortune 500 company. If you need a CIO-level service, why hire a full-time staff member at $250,000 a year when you can get this on-demand service for fractions of the cost? As your CIO on demand, we'll give you the steps you need to take so as to minimize interruption to your business and profitability, and provide you and your business with training and education to prevent future attacks. To get an efficiency review for your business today, contact us at www.ee-services.com.
Ace Hardware is a helpful place with prompt, friendly service, knowledge, and the little things that make a big difference.
Service.
Selection.
Advice.
Community involvement.
Competitive prices.
Convenience.
Located near you.
And the things you need, such as
house keys,
lawn and garden,
plumbing,
electrical,
hardware,
grills,
outdoor living supplies,
and even nuts and bolts.
When you visit Ace Hardware, you'll be greeted at the door and given the help you need.
So come visit us at Ace Hardware in Evergreen Way in Everett, Lake Stevens, and now Stanwood.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
All right, welcome back to TechTime Radio. The whiskey was flowing, and now we're going to get to the Nathan Nugget of the week.
Yeah, you better hurry.
I know.
Running out of time.
This is your Nathan Nugget of the week.
All right, welcome to the Nathan Nugget, part of the show. This brings great facts, commentators, and comments. So let's just go down here. I love streaming services, and so we did a Lace Award show like we talked about earlier, and I have decided to pick my favorite and kind of go down a list of what I like on streaming services. So Quibi was probably like my number 4th or 5th best. I really actually liked some of their original content, but number 1.
Yeah, it won our original award.
Yes, it won the original award. But number 1 best streaming service out there, I have to say, is Netflix. You know what? Netflix has the best shows. When I am sitting at home, I go into Netflix. I like their shows. I like what they have available, but I hate their search.
There are so many things that I don't like about Netflix anymore.
Do you like their shows, though?
I like their shows. I don't like are you still watching?
So I don't like that.
I hate that.
I hate the search. If I want to search for a movie, don't tell me shows that are like it. I don't care about shows that are like it. If I search for Groundhog's Day and I want to see Bill Murray come on out, don't tell me another 15 shows that have Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Either say you have Groundhog's Day or not.
I also hate the recommendations.
All right. I also like Disney Plus, Amazon Prime works, and Netflix is some of my great areas that we have. But now our music is playing, so that means we are going to need to get to our pick of the day.
Pick of the day, baby.
Okay, it is our Blue Spirit Lake Chelan. And Mike, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I'm going to give this a thumbs up. I
like
this.
I like this a lot.
It's a
thumbs
great
up.
sipping whiskey.
91 proof, $52, Blue Spirits Lake of Chelan. It wins our pick of the day. All right. Mike, any closing items that you want to talk about? I do want to let everybody know that we are on 4 to 5, as you guys hopefully watched today. We have a great board director there. David is behind the board. He was taking care of our live streams. I can't wait to get him a part of the show. Mike, did you have a good time on our first episode here?
Yeah, it's pretty cool listening to the music play in
instead of having to see
instead of waiting. Instead of waiting.
All right. Well, this was our episode 19 for week October 24th through the 30th. Thank you for joining.
All right.
Thank you for joining us for TechTime Radio today. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. Hopefully you enjoyed talking technology and, of course, having a little whiskey on the side. Remember as we leave, Mumm's the word. Thank you for listening. If you like the show and want to learn more, please check us out at techtimeradio.com or on YouTube or your favorite podcast service. Just look for TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.